Nyeth the Prophetess is one of only two, well, I would say three, notably famous Wood Elf characters who is an actual Wood Elf and isn't some sort of other entity. The big three being Scarlock the Hunter, who is like a really hardcore archer, Weight Watcher type guy. Eroloth, who I highly suspect we will see in Total War Warhammer 3. Eroloth is like a really powerful Glade Lord, who has a little hawk companion. And then you have Nyeth the Prophetess, who is a wizard, as the name might imply. So, telling you a little bit about her, let me read you some smidges about this interesting character. I gotta find her first appearance. Let's... Yeah, because Nyeth was actually a special character in an older edition. I don't remember if I have it on hand. In this book. Orion Drycha. No, she wasn't in this one. It was earlier. I don't think I have ready to go at this exact moment. Is the Fey Enchantress a Bretonnian? It's not exactly clear, but most sources that bother to get into the nitty-gritty of it say that the Fey Enchantress is an elf, not a human. But there are disagreeing sources. Where are you, my dear? I want to say this is where she shows up for the first time. He's been around for a hot minute. Nyeth, where are you, my dear? Well, okay, I'll start with this because this is the first. So this is the first note of her. She appears in year 1 of the turning of a season, the season of doom, which is the modern season, which the Wood Elves, they break their timeline up into seasons. That's how they like interpret the turning of the cycles of the world and stuff like that. Is they have seasons that usually last. It depends on the season. Some last longer than others. Generally speaking, they're somewhere in the ballpark of like 500 years. But some of them last longer, some of them last shorter. It just depends. But the season of doom, year 1. As the season turned, the fate of the Wood Elves was changed forever. Nyeth the Prophetess, High Seer of Ethel Lauren, had a vision in which the forest was drowned in fire and chaos. The details of the premonition were hazy, as such things often are, but Nyeth was able to determine that his fate awaited not only Ethel Lauren, but the entire world. Nyeth soon brought this news to the Great Council. Few of the lords and ladies believed her, but it mattered not. Of late, Ariel had experienced an unprecedented shift of the weave and divined that this tremor pertained to the disaster. Nyeth had foreseen. Gathering together 500 of the realm's most accomplished spellweavers, Ariel and Nyeth ventured forth into the Dreaming Wood, a perilous reach of Ethel Lauren, whose glades opened into many times and places. There, after many dangerous months amongst the demon-haunted groves, they finally gleaned some of the answers they sought. So far as Ariel could determine, the fate of the world, and therefore Ethel Lauren, hinged upon the survival of beings such as herself, Orion, and the Lady of the Lake. During her sojourn in the Dreaming Wood, Ariel had discovered with dismay that some of these godly aspects had already been slain. this had been the cause of the disturbances within the weave. Some had fallen in battle. Despite their power, they were not immortal. Others had been devoured by Morgar, and these losses Ariel felt most keenly, for these were deaths she could have prevented. For centuries, the Mage Queen had used the Lady of the Lake to cheat Morgar's hunger rather than deal with the creature directly. For if the corruptor did not threaten Athel Loren, then what concern was he to the Wood Elves? The Mage Queen found the answer little to her liking. When Ariel and Nyeth left the Dreaming Wood, they did so in the company of less than half the spellweavers that had set out. The others had been consumed by the horrors that dwelt amongst the glades or driven mad by the glimpses of destiny. At the next great council, Ariel conveyed what she had seen to the lords and ladies of her court. Still they argued, for none wanted to believe the onset of such dire times. The Mage Queen overruled the dissenters and decreed that the realm of Athel Loren would not stand idle whilst the remaining aspects were slain and the world came to ruin. The Wood Elves would fight. See, I'm trying to see if she shows up like a silly amount of times. But basically she is the most powerful wizard in the entirety of Athel Loren, second only to Ariel herself. Let's see. There's Scarlock. Yeah, here she shows up again. There was a great wailing amongst the trees of the Glade of Woe, and Ariel knew that Morgar had been reborn once more. Scouts soon located the vile creature in the Forest of Arden, and no longer content to let others keep the corruptor in check, the Mage Queen dispatched an army to kill the beast while still young. So it was that Erloth, Lord of Talzin, and Nyeth the Prophetess led many warrior kinbands on the hunt. They tracked Morgar and his warband through the darkness of the forest, felling stragglers with bow and blade. At last they routed Morgar's followers and cornered the beast. Alas, as Erloth readied his blade for the killing strike, the air rang to the blare of crude horns and the bleating of unclean beasts. So intent had the Wood Elves been on reaching their quarry, they had not noticed the Ungor scouts shadowing their every step. Now those trackers had led other beastmen to Morgar's rescue, and badly outnumbered, the Wood Elves were forced to retreat. Up until now, the Wood Elves' casualties had been light, for they had chosen the ground upon which each of their battles had been fought. Now the beastmen took their bloody revenge. Blade Guard fired until their quivers were empty, but there were always more foes to replace those that had been slain. With the heart twisted by anger and sorrow, Erloth left a rear guard of volunteers to hold back the raging Gors and led the rest of his forces on a desperate retreat out of the Forest of Arden. At the last, only Nyeth, Erloth, and a handful of others escaped the Forest of Arden. They survived only because Nyeth herself roused the slumbering trees to form walls of branch and briar that barred the beastman's passage. Shamed by his failure, Erloth soon returned to the Forest of Arden as part of a far larger host, but Morgar had gone. The beastmen had used their primitive magic to spirit the creature away. It would be many years before Erloth would have his chance at revenge. So I mean, yeah, she shows up in the plot. So here you have when Malagor led a big invasion. It notes that in the west of Athel Loren, Nyeth the Prophetess marshaled her household to defend the Glade of Eternal Moonlight, taking over control of the western kingdoms. I actually really like Nyeth. If you're tolerant of some of my crappier mic quality back on when my channel was much younger, I have a video on my YouTube channel that's called like the history of the Wood Elves or something like that. And it's like a stupidly long video that is literally the entire history of the Wood Elves. And it includes a lot of various details about Nyeth and other stuff like that. But she is definitely a character I would like to deal more in depth to at some point. Because she's very important, and she's a really good character. I like her a lot. Yeah, Beast Driver's fine. We're in a lot of heroes in this army, but that is a-okay. 40, nice. We could march on to Ryestra.
I forbid this.
Yeah.
Kroq-Gar.
Yeah, get owned. I'm gonna sack it. Body counter, nice. Pull back a bit. There, that was a nice decisive blow. I'll take that. Go ahead and give me... Okay, let's go ahead and pick up Neutralize Chaos. Because I kind of want to pick up all these things, especially because that one just gives me a flat 8 melee attack on top of everything else. We're going to get boost income on you. Specialist. Oh, Garrison. We're pushing her back, chat. You still watch my old stuff? I apologize for that. Dude, Living Legend, tell me about it, dude. Those are rough times. Rough times indeed. Back when I recorded all of my videos on a laptop mic. Reminds me, I need to do some recording tonight. Ah, they wounded my King Chief. That wasn't very nice. How dare you? He didn't deserve that. Yeah, I'm still very proud of the Belagar lore video. There was only one mistake I made in the Belagar video. But the nice thing is I'll be able to fix that mistake during the Quick Head Taker video whenever that eventually finishes. Anyone remember Kroq-Gar Peaks Week? No, it's a myth. It's a story that parents tell to misbehaving children to scare them. Everyone knows Kroq-Gar Peaks Week isn't real. It can't hurt you. All right, we're gonna build a proper garrison at the Serpent Coast to ward against future issues. Just here to bro. Says bro. Bro. It's a sign you should remake every single video you've ever made. One day, sure. At some point. Right now, I just need to get back to releasing content on that channel. I've been releasing more content on my second channel than I have on my first channel. Not bueno. What? Oh, it got damaged. Come here, king. Oh yeah, I forgot we had a bro command. Wait, have we always had a bro command? Is that new? Or has that always been here? Queek has a supernatural technique called Snort Dust. Funny, actually, Queek Headtaker does not partake of Warpstone. He's actually quite wary of it. Because he's not a dum-dum. Oh man, geomantic healing would be really good. If we could get up to Sequence of the Hunt, that'd be good, because I am running very heavy on the cold ones. Came to the wrong neighborhood, son! Boom! Okay, looks like Khalidah's forces are kind of collapsing. Oh, we got Blessed Chameleon Skinks. Yo. That's some good stuff right there. I'll wiggle my way back here. Alright, let's grab terminate the Dark Elves real quick. You can get rid of these Chameleon Skinks and get better ones. Nice. Have I heard of Urzin the Unrelenting? It is not ringing a bell off the top of my head. Do you have a source? Like, do they say what it's from? You want a GTA game set in Skavenblight? That would be amazing. I wouldn't even care who you played. That would genuinely be a hilarious game. Pirates of Sartosa have fallen. Heel Skink Bro is back. Oh, that's gonna kill my Blessed Saurus. Okay, I'll fight it myself then. Till the new year, at least in my part of the world. So, chat, did any of you make what do you call it? New Year resolutions? I personally don't partake in those. Oh, second edition. The core book? Or is it a specific codex? Because there is like an endless amount of stuff, bro. There is an endless amount of fun little things to find from second edition Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. Whether or not it's all like the canonicity of it is pretty meh these days, but it is a lot of fun to read through those books because you can find a lot of really cool things, and sometimes they do pop up. For instance, like the whole thing with Prince Yuri, the Demon Prince character for Total War Warhammer 3. His entire storyline, well, much of his storyline is from Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay second edition, which is really cool. Though they added substantially to it. Originally, he was not Katarin's lover. But they gave it that extra spice. Night Stark's Masters, yeah. Yeah, my favorite vampire in Night Stark's Masters is the little girl who's a Necrarch, who like makes all of her like, she makes like playmates or whatever, and creates like horrible, terrifying monstrosities. Unleash the Kroq-Gars. Justice for Katerin Sledmount? Dude, tell me about it. To me! Get the witch! More spells, more spells, more spells. You can't have too many spells. Anyone who says that is trying to sell you something. Blessed Secondon's getting fucked up. That was a good lightning bolt.
Peasant! Peasant!
I know! Should Warpstone ammo have magical attacks? Yes, always. It has to. Technically, yes. The answer is yes. Alright, Khalid is dead, so everything should be following shortly. If I recall correctly, there's one gun in the game that has Warpstone ammunition, but doesn't do magic damage. Whoa! Oh, it's the new year. Happy New Year! Happy New Year, everyone. Thank you, the wah. First wah of the year, yes. It's important to open the year with a wah. Happy New Year, my dudes. 2023 has begun. 2022 has ended. Praise be, praise be.
Hunt down those lizard trinkets.
We're hunting them. Oh, can I get another skink chief yet? Oh no. We're getting old. Shut up. I don't want to think about it. Welcome to the new year, you gits. Well, I appreciate you all joining us, or joining me, I should say, for New Year's. Do I know why did the Lizardmen take over the northeast of Albion and not the southwest? So after the initial Albion crisis, the Lizardmen seem to have gravitated around capturing like the major cities that were located in Albion. Basically taking the they captured the Happy New Year, the Ogham Stones and the, I can't remember what it's called. It wasn't the Lead Citadel, it was the other one, I think. Because I think the Lead Citadel was, they eventually captured the Lead Citadel. But the Lizardmen captured most of like the major cities in Albion. But then in the south, the Isle of Wight and the Isle of Wights and the that southern area where some Black Arcs had beached, which is why it remained under Dark Elf control during the actual aftermath of the Albion crisis. Going into 7th edition, when they actually moved the lore forwards, what they ended up saying in the lore was that the Lizardmen ended up taking over the entirety of the Isles. So the Lizardmen took over all of Albion eventually, and then they started constructing the new temple city of Conquata and pushed off all of the warm-blooded invaders, which led to the next phase of things that took place. Well, our empire, hey, look at that, we have an ally in the Golden Tower now. That actually helps a ton. So our left flank is secure once more, even though the dwarves are not at war with him. But we can now push northward, which is what we should have done in the first place. And it will not punish us immensely. How many guns are there that use warpstone ammo? Jezzails, rattling guns, warp fire throwers, warp lightning cannons, warp lock pistols, warp muskets. Technically, poison wind globadiers and death globe bombardiers use warpstone ammunition to create the gas. Yeah, doom wheels. Yep, doom wheels use warp lightning conductors. I think the Clan Pestilence catapults also technically I don't remember. I don't think they use warpstone ammunition, but they might use warpstone in the mixture. Where is Onia? Oh, well, I don't know where my Skaven thing is. Actually, I can check it on here. Bomber 82, have a great night, dude. Great to see you, my dude. I said dude too many times there. Skaven. Yes, plague claw catapults do count as having warpstone ammunition. So it's plague claw catapults, warp lightning cannons, doom wheels,
Hunt down those lizard trinkets.
warp lock Jezzails. Poison wind globadiers and therefore bombardiers. And then rattling guns, poison wind mortars, and warp fire throwers. Those are all of the things that are supposed to have. And then the pistols and the muskets, which I'm still super butthurt we don't have those in Total War Warhammer 3. Like I still cannot believe that like, if they give us another Skaven DLC, which I hope they do, like I could easily go for at least one more Skaven DLC, but I could even go for 2 to be honest. If they give us more Skaven DLCs, I really hope there is a notable update in one of them where they give the Warlock Engineer Hero and the Warlock Master shooting attacks. Like they should absolutely have shooting attacks. But in any event, my dudes, I think that is a good place to call it. I'll go ahead and end my turn so it saves. But I think that is a good place to call it a night. It is New Year's, and I just wanted to stream until New Year's. There are other things I need to do tonight because I really want to start getting content back on the main channel, which obviously I have to invest time to do that. Write scripts and record and all those other things. So I hope you all had a fun evening. I hope this was an enjoyable stream. We nearly died. We got super freaking close to dying. But despite it all, we managed to survive and claw our empire back from the depths. No, I want Hexwaddle to be happy with me. Thank you. But yeah. So thank you all again for joining me. I hope it was a good time, and we will definitely be continuing this campaign soon.